Tatsu is a former Yakuza, now a housewife, who collects debts from the locals together with his friend Masa. More precisely, a collection for the needs of the neighborhood. But one does not interfere with the other. His manner of speech and shady past still creep people out. But the fundraisers are very effective. And so another house turned out to be the home of similarly cocky guys. But after a brutal man-to-man conversation, everything was resolved. Mika's wife Tatsu, with whom they live, bought a huge pile of bread, for winning coupons to win 10,000 plates. 2 points for the muffins, 1 for the regular, time to eat. Mika can't do it alone, she needs help. Our guys are already on their way. Stomachs are full, but we can't give up. Tatsu came up with a strategy to combine flavors. After all, eating bread with something would be perfect. But the opponent proved to be unbeatable. Hibari, the first lady of the Tori clan, came undercover in the cat cafe. But here she met Tatsu, he works there part-time. Kitties will save the world. Her gaze fell on a lonely kitty who can't be petted, but she'll find a solution for him, too. Catnip. So she gained the cat's trust and took him home. A typhoon is coming to town. We must defend ourselves. Tatsu is injured by the wind. A call from Masa, he's outside. In this weather, he's craving meatballs. We've got to save the kid. This time, Tatsu and his family went camping. It was a great vacation. If only Masa hadn't knocked over a pot of rice. But that's okay, they made a deal with Thor's former boss. Right? At the city chairwoman's coffee shop, she met with Tatsu. The goal is to lure Tatsu into the Women's Committee of 8 Dragons. There are some very talented and colorful women sitting on the committee. It's time to introduce ourselves. The first challenge, serving tea. He was great. The flower woman was against it. To become more sophisticated, he agreed to take a floristry class. And so, after hard training, Tatsu amazed everyone with his finesse. The daughter of Miku's friend adores the TV series, Criminal Police, except that she is very sick. Tatsu disguises himself as the main villain of the series and surprises her. But then Miku bursts in as a policewoman and a battle ensues, with good triumphing over evil. Tatsu professionally ironed things. Suddenly his lower back gave out. But he is not some weakling to give up household chores over such a small thing. It turned out Thor has no customers today at all. The reason is that everyone has been poached by Kaharu, a competitor. She sells donuts, which everyone loves. The pancakes are clearly losing out. Tats came to the rescue of a friend and tasted the donut. It wasn't good, then he took matters into his own hands and made his own incredible donuts. Kaharu lost. On a normal morning, Tatsu went to his perch and saw condensation there. The whole window was covered in it. We must act immediately. Time to stock up on groceries for the winter. Poor people are shoveling snow with silly slippery shoes and shovels. We have to change our shoes. And Tetsumi knows how to make things easier. How to have a great night out. That's right. Watch Criminal Police, Mika suggested. But Tatsu also has a decent suggestion for It's Hard to Be a Man. And Masa pulled out. Miku is going to play golf the other day, but he can't play golf at all. But that's okay, Tatsu is good at it. They came to the golf club. He's going to teach Mika how to play. The main rule is don't hit the hole before the boss. Or else you're screwed. The family goes to a chef they know, Chen. He has a secret menu for special guests. A new super spicy soup. He challenged the customers, if they eat it all the way through, lunch is on the house. It didn't turn out to be that easy. Though spicy, it was insanely delicious. The soup turned out to be stronger. Tatsu went to Misa's house to visit. The smell was disgusting, even though it was clean. There's only one remedy. Time for evening horror stories. Miku started first. One night she was sitting alone in the office and suddenly the program on her computer froze. Masa interrupted her and told her his story. There was a creepy house in town and the boys decided to sneak in. They climbed in and went down the halls. One of them got very cold, they shined a flashlight on him, and behind him stood her. A woman in a white dress. Suddenly she pretended to be a dog and jumped on them, and they woke up in the parking lot. Now it was Tatsu's turn. It was a gray, rainy day, and suddenly the sound of commercials came from the television. He was seized by an irresistible urge to buy a product. He opened the freezer to put the product in and saw exactly the same packages, he had ordered them before. Tatsu's friend's daughter hates vegetables, but she needs to eat them. Sounds like a challenge for the housewife. But it's not that easy. Then he mixed the ingredients into cutlets. But she cracked it open. On the edge of the abyss, Tatsu told a cute story about a carrot farmer. It worked. The weeds attacked. They've fallen under the influence of a demonic force that now doesn't know how to get out of the 8th floor. Windows, doors, stairs, everything leads back. What to do? Where is the enemy? How do we get past it? And is it possible to break the vicious circle? After a while, which incidentally stopped there, our guys never moved from the point. In the truest sense of the word. No clue, no sign of a demon, no hope of a way out, nothing at all. Well, while they're looking for a way in, let me tell you about the ghostly one-eyed woman. She's a hunter who made a deal with a demon who ate her eye, and in return she can use his ghostly hand. She's also Aki's longtime partner, they're probably even friends. Just like that, the surprise little demon they killed started to sprawl, turning into a huge pile of something. It also started talking, offering the hunters a contract to trade Denji for the freedom of the others. The cowardly girl was the first to fall for the deal, but Aki and the ghostly one quickly put her down. The harder the hunters try to destroy the demon, the bigger it becomes. The thing is, the 8th floor is the Nezuko has broken up, becoming more violent. We must save the girl or her cruelty will spawn a new monster. She entered the madness, merged with it in a dance and destroyed the demon. Tanjiro had time to come before she made a mess of things. It turns out that the demon is not yet dead. In one motion, Tanj blew the demoness head off. There was another problem. Nezuko wouldn't calm down and tried to kill someone. Tanjiro remembered a childhood lullaby and used it to put Nezuko to sleep. The demoness wasn't really a real high moon, she summoned her brother to battle. He pinned her head in place. Whoever this brother was, he was very powerful. And his intention was to kill the hunters for his sister. Guthrie struck the first but already powerful blow. Finally the other hunters came running. Tenj was infuriating to Jutara simply by his existence. He called Tenj the Chosen One, which made him angry. How could he say that? Gyutaru's blades were soaked in poison. Good thing the hunter's body was used to such strain. But poison is poison, and slowly but surely it destroys a man from within. Tengen rushes into the attack. Jutaru easily dodged his blows, and his sister came to his aid. He nearly chopped the demon's head off, but he dodged it. Other hunters came to the rescue. Now Tanjiro is sure not to give up. They will stand their ground to the end. The demons are as sure of their strength as the hunters. The main thing is to decapitate them all at once. Nothing is easier. The fight began. Zenica and Inosuke took over the ribbon, and Tengen and Tanjiro were left with her brother. The demons had an incredible bloodlust and were very determined. Tanjiro was gripped by fear, which nearly got him killed. The blows poured in from all sides. And they were strong, only the hunters would be stronger. They have the sense to fight, they have faith in themselves and their actions, they must win. The attacks are very powerful, both on one side and the other. Tengen used a breath of sound, it didn't have the right effect. One of Tengen's wives comes to the boy's aid. She distracted the demon, allowing Tengen to strike. Tanjiro rushed to his neck, just a little more. The decisive blow. Now! The demon recovered too quickly. We must not forget his sister. Tangen's wife has been captured by the demon, there is nothing he can do to help her. Tanjiro continues to fight, we must use the sun dance, the strength is too low for such a technique. Then he made a sharp throw, mixed the two breaths, and saved Tengen's wife. The demon pounced on the guy with more force. Inosuke does a pretty good job, but he can't cut the belts. We have to cut the girl's head off, get closer. The blade is already at the demon's neck, blocking the guy's attacks. Also this nasty sister of his, she keeps the hunters at a distance. Zenica suggested cutting off her head first, then helping Tengen. The demoness has too soft a neck, you need to cut her with a blow from both sides, sounds like a job for Inosuke. Zenitsu and Tanjiro will create a distraction, while Inosuke gets closer and chops off the demoness head. It worked! From behind the boar is pierced by the demoness brother with his sword. One of the teachers came to see the professor, and they decided to have a cup of tea. Next week there's a dodgeball tournament. It's Damien's chance to earn 1 steal to become a top student. Word of the tournament has reached Anya's parents as well. We need to start training. First, physical training. Next is endurance. And finally the work itself with the ball. With a coach like Ya, Anya is sure to win. Damien is also very determined, he is willing to do a lot for the attention of her father. Class B versus Class D. Here we go. Damien knew the strengths and weaknesses of his opponents. The best player in Class G struck out several guys at once. He was a genius bouncer. You had to put all your strengths together to beat this big guy. But even so, experience wasn't enough. He was a real specialist, and he beat out Damien's friends. Thanks to mind reading, Anya had no trouble dodging the ball. Anya fell, the ball flying straight at her, but Damien blocked her with himself. Now it was up to Yuta. She has to use the technique her mother taught her. That way, she'll win for sure. The moment of truth. The shot. But something went wrong. The strongest player wins.